Hello again to another session of Thrashing code. I'm Adrian, and we're going to get right into it. I was thinking of doing this from the Colligary project, but I thought, what might be more useful? And one of the things that might be more useful is actually just writing this stuff from scratch. I just broke my overlay. There we go. So anyway, I thought, all right, let's write this stuff from scratch. Let's just create a completely new project and work from there, right? That should be fun. So here I've opened up Visual Studio Code, boom, Control tilde, brought up the command prompt, and let's see, where am I at? Let's actually get to creating this project. On this machine, I have a Go directory with the standard setup. So I'm going to navigate into here, GitHub, Adrian. So I have a to-do app in here. I don't really care about that. Let's create a directory called dealing JSON. Okay, nothing there. Let's get git ignore. Oops, ignore, because I'll put all this code up online so you can check it out after the fact. And whatever else you want to do with it. If you want to hack at it, fork it, whatever. So I add that, and then let's go ahead and add a README so I can write something that everybody will be able to read what the project's about. Since it's really just an example, I'll put an example description in the README. Main.go will be our main code file. And that's really it to start with. Let's go ahead and open a folder. And this is the one we just created over here, dealing JSON. And boom, there we go. There's main, there's README, dealing JSON. This is a project about marshaling and unmarshalling dynamic JSON. How to deal with the not limitations, but the specific confines of Go libraries in dealing with JSON dynamically. There we go. That's all fancy. In here, I'm going to get rid of this in case I open it on a Mac. I'm going to get rid of this directory because I might use one of the JetBrains product to edit this later. And then what else? We want to get vendor in there. Maybe some other things. Let's actually cheat. We'll go out to GitHub. And I'll actually look at one of my existing projects and grab that ignore file. There we go. So this has all the stuff. So I'll take that. And let's see here. I don't need data schemas, don't need that build. There's the vendor directory, which I put up above, and those I put up above. I don't need .et, don't need .test. Dilib, the DLL and exe, those things are Windows specific, but I definitely want to ignore them still. And I think that about sums it up. So my gitignore file looks good. And let's get in here. I'm going to start with package main. And then let's talk JSON for a second. I'm just going to create a new file. We'll name it so we can get appropriate color coding and highlighting and everything. We'll call it, what should we call it? Rando JSON. All right, so we'll start with this, and then let's say we just have a thing called, like, this is the type, and we'll call it type 1, and then we'll have other JSON. And I'll actually put, let's see, we'll give it a name, some name, and then other, whatever other value. Oh, do we need a comma? Comma. And there we go. That looks like a good JSON file. And then let's create another one. We'll call it type 2, and it'll have a different structure, right? So we'll say there is no name, there's just a description. Oops. Some description goes here. And then let's say our charge, and we'll say it's $12, right? And then stamp. Oops, stamp. And it'll be like a date. Say 10/29/2018. Right? And I don't have color coding because I haven't saved the file. So let's save the file real quick. Rando2.json. Boom. There we go. Looks like it's formatted correctly. So now we have two JSON files. One that I've dubbed type 1. And it has JSON in it that is name and other. And then we have the second one, which has the other JSON, and other JSON is description, charge, and stamp. So that'll be type 2. Actually, let's say it's type 2 JSON. Actually, let's keep it other JSON, just for now. All right, so in here, let's get some things. Package, we want to do import. And don't really know everything I'll need yet, but I'm sure format will be in there somewhere. Ha ha ha. And then let's declare our two JSON types. So there's going to be type 1. Type 1 struct. And then type 2 struct. Now, really, I ought to name my JSON something way better because this is kind of crap. Let's name it something a little bit better. We'll just call this. Let's call this train, and we'll call this an airplane. Let's add some stuff. We'll say capacity 188. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit more interesting. Charge is, let's call it average charge will be 189, and description of, actually let's call it flying is fast. And in Rando2 train, let's say, call it a TGV. That's the French fast train, bullet train. Or, well, fast train, I guess they don't call it a bullet train. That's what the Japanese call theirs, and that is called specifically the Shinkansen. Anyway, a really fast train. And then we'll say seats. And 642 sounds about right. All right, so now we have a train and an airplane. I'm going to rename these just so they're easier to pick out real quick. Train, and then airplane. And back over here, we'll do train and airplane. All right, so airplane had what in it? Let's look. In other JSON, it had these things. I'm just going to paste those down here real quick so I can put them in. So we have a description. Oops. That's going to be a string. And then we have average charge. And I'm going to actually, well, let's just make it a string right now for simpleness sake. Stamp. I'll also make that a string. Let's make them all a string just to get started here. And string. All right. So got those in there. And then the train had 3 key values. So we have name, which is a string. Other, which is some random string. And then seats, which is, let's actually make that an int. And capacity down here should just be an int too. It's a whole number. It's not like it's going to have some weird value in it because you either have a seat or you don't have a seat, period. End of story. None of this crazy in between, like standing in an airplane crap or, you know, standing on top of the train. This is fully developed technology. People are going to ride it the way it's meant to be. So no flaky stuff. All right. So now we have the 2 JSON objects, or the types for the JSON objects to be marshaled into. What else do we need? We need a main func where we will write our code. And let's work with this to get it to spit out JSON that we just feed in here, and then we'll play with the files a little bit more in a little bit. But you get the idea. I'm working from that basis of what we've put in the JSON files and what we have in our types right here, in our structs. So in the main, I want to, let's see here. Let's create one of these things. I think the best way to do that would be, let's create an airplane. And let's see here. In the airplane is the description. That'll be 737-900. Actually, we'll call it Alaska Air 737-900. That is the type of plane that is most prominent that Alaska Air uses. So if you didn't know that, you know that now. Oh, and actually, let's see. I need. Yeah, that's right. So this, and then average charge. I don't know. Average seat sounds probably like $160. And then we'll do stamp. That'll be. Let's see, what is it? Time? No, date. Now. I don't remember what this is. New. Let's look that up real quick. Blue Jeans meeting. I must have been in a Blue Jeans meeting recently. So Golang get timestamp. Yeah, that sounds good. How do I get a current timestamp? All right, Stack Overflow. I'm going to do some copy and paste coding. Okay, time.now. Time.format. I'll just do time.now. We can have a crazy date, right? It doesn't really matter. Let's do time.now. And, oh yeah, capacity. Capacity equals 168 people. Sounds about right. Or actually, you know what? Let's learn something and be specific, right? So capacity of Alaska Air 737-900. Now it is specific per airlines, right? It's not like every 737-900 is exactly the same. They get different floor plans and stuff like that. Like Seat Guru does a lot of stuff around finding seats and picking them out and stuff. So let's take a look at these, see what these links will tell us. All right. There is a 737. That's what that beautiful plane looks like. 2 pilots, 4 flight attendants, first class, 16 people in first class. That's weird. It says only 12. I think they got way more than 12. But anyway, I digress. 138 in coach. Premium class, 24. And then 16. So premium's this. This is first class. And then this is all the other stuff. So this is your seat deck of the plane. So we got 138, 24, so that's 140, 150, 162, 172, 178, 178. So 178 seats. So if you ever want to really get particular about how you're flying and what seats you're flying in and all that kind of jazz, that's where you go to find out. What is this syntax error? Expected new line, expected a, oh yeah, it's go. So trailing comma, right? No? It's an int. Oh. Yeah, that's right. This bit is what needs it. Oh, you are frustrating. Why? Am I missing it? Does it need to be here? No? Yes? Where am I missing? So I have a closing bracket, opening bracket, closing bracket. Let's just do this. 178. Does that fix it? Whoa, no, that flakes out everything else. Do I need that? Oh, this is probably not the right type of value. So now function returns the, say returns the current local time, which would be time.type. Oh, I wonder if I can do that. Time.type. No? Nothing like that. Okay, that fixed that, but I should have, what is this fussing about? Exported type airplane should have a comment or be unexported. Let's not export it. Let's just do airplane train. How's that work? Yeah, okay, there we go. And then this thing just needs to be airplane. We'll just call it a plane. Crap, come on. There you go. Okay. And this is cannot use time.now as type string in field. Type time.time. Now what do we got? Time.time. Plain declared not used. Okay, so that's what it was. So I just had to type that thing and stuff. If you got any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I will answer any of the questions that you have. And if I don't have the answer, I will get the answer for you. Cool. Okay, back on track here. And then let's see here. I need to begin the marshalling process. So I'm going to dump stuff into a buffer with the JSON.marshal function and pass my plane into that marshalling function. Why is it still? Oh. So Visual Studio Code shows things per the last save state. That's why some of that stuff gets squiggly lined and then it gets fixed after I type the line that references it. I always forget with these editors which ones does what specifically. But anyway, all right, so we got that, and then do the stupid error thing. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're just going to log fatal. No, actually, let's do a format print line. We'll print out the error if there is an error. So if I save that, then what's it crap now? Oh, yeah, saying buffer isn't used, right? Thanks for being zealous, Visual Studio Code. You're a good editor. And then let's print the plain buffer that's marshaled. So if I do that, print F, and then what is it? It's percent string. Then we'll do a new line. And then actually forget that. I can just do print line, pass in the plain. The buffer of the plain. Maybe I should call it plain buffer, whatever it is. It's basically a string of the results of marshalling those types, those structs, right? So it should have all the bits in there. Now if I run that, I hit Control tilde to bring up the built-in terminal here. And let's actually just see if we get a build first. Looks good. We have our executable, so I can say dealing JSON, and boom. All right, that is correct because that is the byte buffer of the types here. It's dumped out as a string. So then we want to actually take that. Let's do one of the other ones real quick. Actually, let's do, if we do this, and then we say string, and I'll go ahead and show you this little trick. So that's string and new line, which is what I started to type a minute ago. And then you type in that buffer, right? Or you pass in the buffer. And you do a format, right? Build and run. Note, it does the conversion for you when you do format.printf. Type string, expects a string, you pass in the buffer, even though it's byte, array, whatever, it'll actually give you the string. So it formats it. Kind of a little way. It's almost cheating because remember, you have a buffer, it's not a straight up string. So like if you try to read this here, you're not actually going to get this. It's going to be all these things. So you need to do other things with it. Anyway, so let's take a look at the other one. Train, we'll call it choo-choo. We'll do train. And then what do we got there? We got name, let's say Amtrak, Cascades, Talgo. And then we have other. I bet I can't find the seating chart for this train. And then seats. Probably 180. Let's look it up. Again, we'll learn something, right? So, Amtrak, Cascades, Talgo, seating. There we go. Train equipment. Train sets, Amtrak, Cascades. One of these things might have something. Oh, what a nifty little blog entry. Oh, there's business class. Bigger than any of them damn seats in an airplane. She looks chipper. Shasta Daylight, Portland to San Francisco. Oh, geez. I wish they still ran that stuff. But I digress. That's not what I was looking for. Oh, there's another Alaska Airlines seat map. That's not what I was looking for either. Interior renovation, Cascades. Seats approximately 250 in 13 train cars. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not going to get specifics, I guess. It's just going to be whatever. Because we got, oh yeah, we got these coaches, and then we got these coaches. So this is actually pretty useful. Oh, it's the Talgo train set and the Talgo website. That makes sense. Standard options can be up to 600 seats. Wow, that's pretty impressive. That is not what's available there. So anyway, we're going to go with 250. That'll be fine. $250 seats in relative comfort. And then again, we're going to do, let's call it a train buffer. And JSON, we'll marshal that into train. There we go. And then same thing, if error is nil, print line, error, and then let's print out our JSON. There we go. So if we run this, go run main. Oh, what did I do? Train is not an expression. Oh, what did I do? Oh, choo-choo. I needed a choo-choo. Of course, because I'm a dork. There we go. Run that. There. Okay, so now we got our plane and we have our train. And they're completely different structures, if you note. Let's hear it. So train has 3 key value parameters within the JSON structure. Airplane has 4. So they're not the same thing. So in that case, if you have a file and you don't know which type it is, you can't just pull it in and assume it. So like in this case, this train is only a train. It's not a train and an airplane, right? So you want it to come in and unmarshal it as a train object, not as a whatever, or an airplane or a car or a boat or whatever else we might have. So we'll want to actually have some type of decision tree. Like if I was to write a little bit of pseudocode, it'd be, you know, if train do thing, else if air or if plane do this other thing, right? That's kind of the flow that we want for this. So how do you do that when unmarshalling? Because when you unmarshal, you just take the JSON and you try to unmarshal it, right? So if you don't know what's in the file, you need a queue to determine that. And in this case, what I've done is in this file, or in this set of JSON, I set a type as airplane. And in this one, I set a type as train. Now, of course, if you're pulling in stuff that you really don't know the structure of, there's something that you'll need to use to take a queue off of to determine what to unmarshal that as. Just realizing that. So frustrating. So frustrating doing videos sometimes. I just realized I was on top of the stupid code that I was typing. Sorry. Let's just do this. All right. So now, let's unmarshal into some hellish structure here. Let's get rid of my little pseudocode. All right, so we have, let's make another one, constant thing. And then we'll do the whole structure like we have over here. Let's go with the airplane. I think I pulled it all, so we'll do this. There we go. And then, all right, so that's basically a constant of JSON, right? What did I not type right? Unexpected parens. Constant thing equals. That's just going to stay put for the time being. Oh, note that imported my values up here that I needed. Thanks, Visual Studio Code. Well, anyway. So let's say we have our type assigned already. So let's do one more, and we'll just call it. Modal option struct, and then we'll have type. That'll be a string, and then other JSON, and that'll be a string. Or actually, let's make it an interface. Oh, oops. Curly braces, not parens. All right, and then we got, let's see here. We want to do, let's create a variable. We'll call it modal, let's say plain, or modal thing. And we'll just declare it as a airplane. Or did I just, yeah, just called it an airplane. Now, if let's now unmarshal the thing. Oops. Then error. No. Okay, I might have just wrote that too complex for myself. So basically what I did is I made the error if handling statement wrapped in an if statement of unmarshalling the object. So I'm trying to unmarshal the object into modal thing. This is a reference to this variable. Why is this? I hate it when there's squigglies that shouldn't be there. Unexpected type literal end of statement. I'll fiddle with that in a second. Type. Anyway, yeah. And then this is complaining. So what do we got here? Syntax error, non-declaration statement outside function body. But it's not outside the function body. I'm inside the function body, right? Well, let's move this for a second. And save. Function body, undefined input. Oh, I called it thing, not input. What's that do? So that says error non-declaration statement outside function body still. Yeah, I'm not sure. So anyway, let's try. I'm going to continue and see if some of that stuff will go away. So I need a value that's going to pull out all this stuff to print. So I'm going to do something kind of a little crazy here just to get some output. So the stuff, I'll call it, make it a string. And then let's try to do, I'm trying to think how to write this. How do I write it? I'm going to do environment message. Map. No, let's do, all right. Let's do map, string, interface, right? And then close the parens. And then let's try to print that. Let's do print line since we're taking it out. Or no, let's do modal thing. What's that do, actually? Yeah, no. Whoops, go build. I'm missing something. Do you happen to see what it is? Any input here? So I made a constant. I'm just trying to make a constant of JSON content. Oh, I need to wrap this sucker. I'm tripping out for no reason. Oops. So we'll use a tilde, and that should, yeah, there we go. Multi-line string with a tilde. That did it. That's what I needed to do. And then this is what? Invalid character? Oh, not a $, ampersand. There we go. And this is just fussing because, oh yeah, I didn't. The linter wants me to type all capitals for JSON. Whew. Okay, go build. Then we'll run this sucker. Dealing JSON. Boom. Okay, there's those two. So a modal thing is nothing. It's empty. Oh no, it's this crazy timestamp thing. That's freaking useless. All right, let's get this out of this statement. I think I goofed it up. So we'll say modal thing. JSON.unmarshall. And then what is it? It's the byte interface, right? So it's empty byte. I'll go with thing. That's that junk up above. And then we'll do here. The interface. The interface should be modal. No, doesn't like that. Oh yeah, because this error, and then just another stupid error handler, or non-error error handler, whatever you want to call it. And what do we got? Mismatch 2 variables, but 1 values. Oh, import assignment mismatch. Oops. Can I see that? Come back here, thing. Unmarshall. Can you hover over it? Is that how it works? Oh, that's cool. Data stores the result and value pointed to by V. If V is nil or not a pointer, Unmarshall returns an invalid Unmarshall error. Unmarshall uses the inverse of the encodings that Unmarshall uses allocating maps, slices, and pointers as necessary with the following additional rules. Oh, and of course you can't see it because it pulls up the docs, but it's not really there. Marshall. There we go. All right, and then 2 variables but 1 value. So does it only return the error? Yeah, it only returns the error. And the byte is what it unmarshalls. Well, oh, what did that do? Broke something else? I don't want to work on this right now. I hate it when that happens. So let's hear. if I have that, and then I have the modal option, and then I unmarshal it. So let's actually go back to what I had a second ago. Where is it? There it is. Okay, that thing. That should work. Right. Fade on. And then, yeah, so I'll get rid of my other junk here. I don't want that. Spell it right. Thing. Let's make it a string. And then why is that not? Come on. Oh yeah, it's code. Doesn't actually give me smart IntelliComplete. What? No, stop doing that. Dude. There we go. And modal thing. What is this fussing about? Undefined modal thing. Right, because I'm trying to... shut up. Whatever. Oh, modal thing. Now what are we in? Yeah. Whatever. So let's do... How do I do it? I do a map. Map. String. To the interface, or of the interface, however you say that. And okay, I want that to map it, but I need environment. Let's do this, and then we can theoretically pick out a piece of the thing, which let's do other JSON. Or no, let's do type first. Type. Oh, this. There I go, using the wrong symbols again. Type, and then make it that string. Modal thing declared in this block, previous declaration. Oh, thing. I'm getting my shit so crossed here. No, thing is the thing. It's being unmarshalled. That's the byte string. This is the byte string. And this is going to be... Oh, I needed to click. No. Modal option, like I had it. Let's do this. And then I need a variable, modal, thing, modal option. There we go. That should fix that. And then var modal thing. Oh, don't need to do the JSON type string, that environment, and that, and save it. And let's see, what do we get? All right, what are you fussing about here? Undefined environment. Nah. Let's do this. Whoops. There's a it's like a that's your environment.message. Oh, typed it in the wrong place. There we go. So let's do environment. Shit. There we go. Environment. Got message. Golang. Is that how it works? It doesn't say it either. What a bunch of crap. Bunch of crap. Not looking at Talco anymore. Okay, so I need to unmarshal this, and I'm drawing a blank at the moment. So let's look at an example, because I'm not getting anywhere with this. So how do you, let's see, go lang unmarshal. And this is it. So JSON.unmarsh. What? Well, there's, why didn't it find that? It's right here. Oh, I don't want to look at the code. Whoops. Yeah, let's look at an example. Format. Run. Oh, you're a mess. Isn't that what I did? Damn it. Oh, there we go. Oh, let's look at modal thing. What fuss does that do? That'll say, okay, modal thing dot. Actually, let's just print that out. That should give us the value. There we go. Coolness. Yeah. All right. So that should work. Go build or go run main. Boom. And then we have type airplane. That is what we expected. So let's actually do function and then the type to unmarshal. Do string and boom. Okay. Run that. Boom. Type to unmarshal airplane. Perfect. That is exactly what we wanted. We'll do new line. All right, now that we know it's an airplane, so let's do this. If, oops, shit, hold on, I'm spilling coffee again. Yeah, so, all right, if modal thing dot type is equal to airplane. Let's say format, print line, and I'll just start with, we have an airplane. Oh, and I should do this. There we go. Okay. And then if modal thing dot type is equal to train, then we have a train, right? We have a train. Perfect. Airplane, we have a plane. What? Oh, I did the escape sequence incorrect. There we go. Otherwise. Oh, and it actually highlights it a different color. That's cool. There we go. Type to unmarshal is an airplane. We have an airplane. So let's process that. We have an airplane processing. So now what we need to do is take the other JSON. So this is one of the, like I said, this is one of the many ways that you can kind of parse dynamic stuff. So like the other JSON could be anything. And then you have type for the different structures that you would have in that other JSON. And then that way the JSON can actually be different, even though you really have one type of JSON with just type and other JSON. So kind of the JSON is helping you parse between the different types. In a different session, I'm actually going to dig into like actually pulling in the JSON manually and programmatically looking at the strings and looking for a particular reference point to pick it and then find what type and then unmarshalled into that. But this is basically the same thing. I'm just using JSON to do the initial picking this time instead of a string. Yeah, I see your chat message now, Klaus. 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I got to get better at looking at the chat message because the chat message is way over here. But I look every few minutes. All right, so now I can just unmarshal that. And if I don't type it like a crazy person this time, JSON.unmarshall. And let's not get my actual things confused this time. So this time, instead of thing, it's going to be modal thing dot the other JSON, right? And then ref to airplane, right? Is that what I made it? Yeah, airplane. And then error equals nil, open curlies, like that, fatal. I was going to make a joke like airplane crash, but that's not funny. It's not really funny at all. But it kind of is in that morbid way. All right, so we got that. We have a train. I think that is typed right. Okay, anyway, format. Oh, I need to get a, let's do var unmarshalled plain what do we call it? We'll call it a type of airplane. There we go. And we actually want to put this in here. And then format printf. Plain. Unmarshalled plain dot charge capacity. Let's go with description. We'll go here. What you fussing about? Did I do it wrong? We're unmarshalling the other JSON. Byte dot other JSON. Type interface. I have that up here. Here's the airplane, right? Just like that bit. Actually, let's put this type up here too. This is used for the initial if then logic to determine what to unmarshal as, what object to unmarshal as, or type which struct to unmarshal as is the most specific Go language that I can think of at the moment. Ew, Bubby. I'm busy getting variables and pointers and refs and all that other stuff backwards in my head. That's what's up. Let's see here. Cannot convert other JSON to byte. Need type assertion. Oh, do I need it marshaled first and then? Well, let's just do this crap. Whoops. Plain thing. Will that do it for me? Of course not. You're going to fuss about something. Right, it's not a constant. I'm signing it to a constant, so it doesn't have to be a variable anymore. Whatever. Okay, let's say this. What goes in here in the byte? Golang byte. Array to string. No, string to byte array. That's what I want. I was saying string byte. Look at Stack Overflow coming in to save the day again. No, what's the syntax? Yeah, byte s. S is a string. That's what it is that I'm passing in. Let's look at some examples. Buffer. Oh, that's what I need, don't I? I need a byte stop buffer. Does anybody know what the deal is with this? Like, is my CSS goofed up that it doesn't show the code? It's just super weird. Anyway, buffer needs no initialization. Hello world. How is that not a string that I'm passing in? So byte, this byte takes a string, right? So byte law, right? Plain. Let's go ahead and put this in here before I forget. All right. So now I just need to. Well, okay, so that got rid of the error. Why is var the JSON string? I'm gonna say the JSON equals that. No? What did I make this then? Oh, I made an interface. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's make it a string then. Can I do that? Does that break all the other stuff? I don't know. I'll find out. There we go. So now this should work in there. Boom. Cannot unmarshal object into go struct field that thing of type string. I don't want it unmarshalled into it. This unmarshals it into modal thing, and then a modal thing dot type. Unmarshal plain dot description. This is a string being passed in as the byte array contraption. Do y'all see what it is? That is confusing to me. What did I just... So JSON cannot unmarshal object into go struct field modal option dot other JSON of type string x. Oh, this is for 163424. Oh, that's the time. So this is other JSON. Yeah, other JSON. Now that thing works. It's this modal. It's here where it's this part that's causing an error. Because like if I comment it out, yeah. So I'm getting through it, I think. Oh no, yeah, maybe you're right. 70. But how does that break? Yeah, let's see, what did I... Oh yeah, so let's do that. Okay, if I put that back and then I run it, that worked, right? Yeah, okay, so that worked. So then what I'm trying to do is take the other JSON, which is the interface, right? Yeah, because it's blah, 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 whatever. JSON string. Oh, and then JSON, and then let's do modal option dot or modal thing dot other JSON. So I had to dump the interface out to a string. That's what I need to do. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but yeah, so I gotta wait, can I just do... Oh, actually, I shouldn't need to unmarshal it, right? Shouldn't I just convert it to what it is? Other JSON should be an airplane. So if I know it's an airplane, that interface should be result dot, yeah, but it doesn't know then that it's that. So I need to do result plane airplane. That's a perfectly valid type. Go. Anyway, so result plain equals modal thing dot other JSON. All right, so then how do I, can I map it this way? I don't remember how to do this syntax. Golang map interface to, yeah, that map interface to struct. We're gonna map to struct. Oh, what? I don't want to use some of Mitchell's stuff. Doesn't it do it? Set field. That's gnarly as shit. Yes, that's what I want to do. It shouldn't be a massive... Okay, I guess I'll use the Mitchell library. But I just want to do this. This is what it should do. Struct those things, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to read your newsletter. Thanks, though. So what's the syntax there? Make. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I do string. Interface. No, I don't want a new one. I just want to do I guess I just have to map in to type. Map interface to struct. Yeah, map structure. I know there's a way to do this. I've done it before, and I just completely cannot think of what the heck I did. Decode? Was it decode? Fill struct, data map, interface. Yeah, that stuff. This person's saying use the same thing. So, map structure. If you want to do it yourself, you could do something like this. Yeah, I definitely don't want to do all that crap. So let's try Mitchell's library. What the hell? That add a dependency I'm going to pull from God only knows where. So let's do there. Then my data is going to be the modal thing dot other JSON, and the result is result plain. Right? That sounds fancy. Let's see. Plain is missing. Oh. Derp. So we'll do result plain dot description. If that works, that is, oh, hot damn. So there we go. That's what I did. So we use the decode, use Mitchell Hashimoto's decode map structure to pull the other JSON after making a decision to get it mapped to a specific type, which in this case is airplane. So then we can do the same thing for the train. Var result train type map structure decode modal thing dot other JSON result something result train and format dot printf train slash n result dot train dot name. All right. So that'll work for that. I'm going to do another session at another time to follow up on this because I think that, well, that might actually work. Yeah, so with this sample, that's enough to proof out the concept of what I need to add into Culinary to take the different schemas that would be for different database systems like Cassandra or Postgres or whatever, and map accordingly the connection, the data structure that needs to be generated, and all that jazz. And from there, once I get that in there, then I can actually start working on the generation of the data to export out of Culinary. So probably work on that session next week. And then from there, that'll give us the bulk of work to do on Culinary, because it'll be set up the schema, figure out the data types, figure out the plugin model for the data types that need to be generated to generate and deploy, or generate and insert that out into the database. So let's look at clause JSON sample here. Oh yeah. I've done the unmarshal too, but if I unmarshal the whole thing to just a type, then like it'll break on the fact that this has 4 and this has 3, and they're different structures, right? So like I need to get the basic overall thing and then be able to map it to the bulk of the JSON, the airplane or the train type, into the type itself, and have an overall inclusive type that I can just put it in, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's just handling the dynamic nature of the JSON overall. Cool. So on that note, thanks for the assist, you guys. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. All that good stuff. You should come to brunch next Monday. It's at the usual time. I believe we're going to go to Nolly's. But if you have a meeting, I'm going to do it on, I think, Wednesday too. I'll send out a meetup invite for that real soon. On that note, I am going to run off into hackerdom. Peace out.